teacher to draw school murals. So this is actually one of the murals that I have in school. I'm not so sure if it's still there. Actually, I'm from Malacca. James and I were from Malacca, and I used to draw murals in school. So I'm not so sure if these 3 walls in my school has any apparent value right now. And I hope they didn't like paint it over. But it's like, since 1999 to 2004, my high school was here. But I used to get a lot in trouble with teachers for doing this. Not because the teacher that always asked me to do this thing will take up time for another class. So I end up not doing the homework for the other class.
Oh no.
So I always get in trouble, but the teacher that always dragged me to do this will pretend nothing happened.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'll kena rotan for no reason. So back then I know the teachers are very rotan happy back then. But I've been drawing comics. I mean, like the very first comic I drew when I was 5 years old, and I was a huge fan of Scooby-Doo That I remember drawing like a 12 frame of Scooby-Doo, the Mystery Machine Gang capturing a ghost, but the ghost is not a ghost, it's actually a human trying for insurance fraud. And it was just 12 panels, and I drew it and I gave it to my mom. And my mom was like, as usual like, oh, very good, very nice. Then the next, I gave that piece of artwork to my mom. But then, you guys can hear me with the mic, or is it very, okay Oh, I can do it like this also right? Is it like this better? Or you want me the mic?
I think the mask muffled.
The mask muffled,
Oh.
Okay. How about, no, it's still the same way. Still about the same. Hey, okay, wait, a little better. So anyway, back to the story. I drew the 12 panel Scooby-Doo comic, and I gave it to my mom. And I was so proud of it, like it was my first ever comic piece. But then the next day when I gave it, when I asked my mom for it back, like, hey, okay, that was just on loan, that is not for you. I just want it back. My mom couldn't find it.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was magically gone. And then, growing up, my parents are very strict Chinese parents. Like, this kind of thing, it's just hobby. This cannot be career. Then after that, like many years I grew up, I still think about that Scooby-Doo comic that I drew. And I realized that maybe my mom threw it away. Like she take it, nice! Battery pun tercabut. So I remember when she did that, when she couldn't find it anymore, I was upset, I was crying. 5 years old Then after that, I took another piece of paper and drew that same 12 panel comic and gave it to her again. So basically I did the same work twice. Yeah, then I guess maybe that's when, as a kid, I was quite determined and maybe a psychopath because I cannot let my mom win. So at that time, I kind of suspected my mom threw my comic away. Then I did ask my mom about this, but she conveniently doesn't remember. Yeah, but typical, I like to rag on my parents every once in a while. Yeah, but yeah, so back in school last time, I actually still do have this. Who last time as kids in school you draw in your buku latihan?
Yeah, of course.
Right? This is like a thing you have to do, right? But do you get in trouble from your parents for this? No. Oh, your parents are so nice. My parents, whenever they spot check my bag, it's not all I need to hide. So this is only part of what is left, right? Because the rest gets thrown away. So a bit sad, there's so much collection. This is what that I can salvage. That's all that is left right now in my house. Actually, I have this in my house right now, but the carbon a bit faded already. Yeah. So now, fast forward to today, my parents sometimes ask me where did I keep all my old drawings. Now they're very plumb cupboard, want to find all the old drawings that I did. Like, wow, for some reason you think of value, is it? Right? But yeah, but just, no, I'm not giving this away. I know there's a special grade, I'm not giving this away. Maybe in the future. Alright, but there's other part of my collections that I would like to give away today. Okay? So over the years, I've actually drawn so many comics. I mean, you guys are very familiar only with the COVIDBALL comic series. I've actually drawn so many other stuff. Actually, if you see the one here, this one is about, it's the Bro series. It's the very first comic, a book that I published. Right? Bro, don't like that, bro. Here comes the Bros. Released, the comic online released in 2010, but the first book was released in 2013. So that will be the book that I'll be giving away today, the very first edition. So it's rare, very rare item because apparently you cannot find. It is quite hard to find it, and if you go to Singapore, it's actually banned material. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be giving away one copy of that. Still in the plastic, never been opened. Okay. Then also over the time, I like to draw about world leaders and all that, but they never really had it. But of course, this guy is my favorite lah. That's why I'm pointing here. He, my best friend. Yeah, he very steady one. I draw about him, he never angry. Then I also draw about, I like to draw a lot of memes, about like, traffic. Then about sometimes global news. I like to draw about global news. And in 2019, before the pandemic, I drew about the fast food high school. I'm not so sure you guys are aware of this work. Yeah, if you guys aren't aware, this was one of my most viral works in Malaysia at one point. To a point that actually, since drawing this back in 2019, this guy at the front here, Subway, was picked up by Subway themselves as their mascot. Yeah, so actually today I'm supposed to be in Penang for the Subway event, but I'm here to do the book launch. But yeah, actually they have this Subway mini world. Last weekend it was at Tiffin at Sentul there. They had a Subway mini world event, and actually last month he was on the Pavilion billboard. Yeah, so basically this guy graduated, the rest still waiting in school. So yeah, I've been doing all this. Then after I did other stuff, I like to draw about superheroes. I like to draw this guy. I did draw this guy, and I like to combine stories. I like to combine pop culture stuff like Pineapple Pen with Keanu Reeves, John Wick. Then I did the whole It with the NW Bear. Then I remember there was this Marvel Thanos thing. Then I did a whole comic about Thanos, like why the problem with his snap. And then I think the one that really went global and went super viral was my Godzilla comic. Yeah, this was shared I think about 100,000 over times all over the internet. And I didn't get to capitalize on this because when all this happened, I was on a plane to Philippines for a holiday. So when I landed, I was like, what's going on? Suddenly there were so many interview requests, and I thought it's like in Malaysia only, but no, it's all right, American design companies and all this and that. So I actually kind of like missed out on this. But then after that, this kind of thing never happened again. But anyway, yeah. So fast forward. During the pandemic, then I released this comic called COVIDBALL. Actually, I never knew what to name it. Okay, and I understand some people are like, why you name it COVIDBALL? Isn't that very similar with a very popular father franchise from Toei Animations? And then it's like, But then, back then, because I'm such a huge fan of that franchise of Dragon Ball, and then after that, the word that went into my head, and the COVID is like a ball. So, COVIDBALL, that's why the word COVIDBALL came. The very first name for this series actually was COVID Attack, but yeah, I felt it was kind of lame. Right? So I thought COVIDBALL sounded cuter. Then I added the Z because I'm still like a high school student. So yeah, so this comic came up to be. I'm just going to show you a small design process of how I do my artwork lah. Right? So first, whenever I start drawing, I will always start off with the sketch first. Yeah, so as you can see, the sketch is, is it very, so I always start off with the sketch like this first, where I'll simply draw with, pen and paper. Right, but now I got tablet, got money. But last time I'll just draw pen and paper, then I'm like, very chinchay lah, sketch like that. Then after I'll move on to doing the inking lah. So the inking part is where you actually can really see how it comes out. So this is like ink black and white. So when I look at this, sometimes I feel like maybe I should also launch color books, like coloring books, that maybe like kids could actually enjoy coloring them as well. So this process is actually one of the most tedious one. Actually, I hate this process the most because it's very mafan. Because you need to draw every line, you need to make sure that everything is like proper to be colored. So then after you color them in, coloring them in actually is pretty easy lah. Usually I'll color them in, then because you just like select the thing, yeah, correct. Just like coloring book like that, but you're doing on the computer is very easy lah. Then after I will work on the backgrounds. Yeah, so I just put in the color. You can see I'm very lazy with the background. I just make like one simple color only. Then sometimes I just want to make the image pop a little bit. Then I'll put in some shadows. Yeah. Then you see, wow, you're going to get the mood. So if you go back, you see how the different. See, this is a bit still too bright, but then then you see you get the mood lighting. Like I basically put the shadows to fix some mood lighting. Then I put in the text. Yeah. So that's how actually I do one page of COVIDBALL, and this whole process. This one page I think took me about 2 days. Yeah, actually can be faster lah, but maybe procrastination plays a factor as well. But yeah, the whole process can take up to 8 hours one page. Yeah, depending on this one got a lot of design, a lot of artwork, so this one is one of the longer ones. So over time, I actually kind of like enjoy showing people the process. Yeah. So this one is actually an excerpt from book 8.
Oh.
Yeah, this is from book 8 lah. So this is a special preview lah. But actually this image you really can see online. Yeah, this one is part of the chapter. I think this is from chapter 45, I think. Yeah. So yeah, this is book 8 and nowadays I would take more effort to do my sketches. As you can see, the previous sketch was just like whatever, but I actually take more time to do the sketches. So characters, I always draw them in blue, then like the background effects, I will put it in like, you know, black ink lah. And then over time, I a bit more meticulous and more kiasu. Then this time, whenever I draw the blue, I'll think like do another line. Like the blue line not enough already. I'll do the black line instead. So, but it actually helps to enhance, to help me draw the more complicated drawings. The more detailed, there's more lines, there's more details. Then I felt that the outcome is better and more, I would say the picture is more robust, more energetic. So like, I like to do this kind of methods for very energetic kind of like images. Yeah. Then, yeah lor, and this is a preview for most probably book 9. Yeah, so as you can see, there's already plans. Most probably this series will be completed up to book 10. Yeah, I'm trying to wrap it up to book 10. So yeah, so these are all the previews of upcoming stuff lah, and you guys get to enjoy it. So I get to see it today lah before everyone else. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's about it for my little presentation. As promised, I did say that there will be 2 things that I'm giving out today. So where is it? Yeah, I hope it's not stolen.
Ernest, I got a question.
Yeah.
So for the process, the visual coming first, then only I would say the what you want to say next only coming later. So the images dictate what they're going to say.
Okay, so that's a very good question. Yeah. That usually when I do the comic, I will sort of like plan the story first. I'll write all the dialogue already. Yes. Then as I write the dialogue, but the dialogue is more like first draft. I'll just key in first. Then after I draw. Then sometimes I feel like the dialogue not good enough. Then I adjust. Yeah. So basically, drawing a comic strip, especially like many pages one, is a lot of planning. You cannot just like I'm just draw whatever I like. Then after I only put in the text. Then you have a lot of problems. I did that for a couple of chapters. I totally regretted it because there are some chapters that I drew half done, throw everything away. Because it doesn't make sense. It was too haphazard and unplanned. So you have to plan it properly. Only you start drawing. It saves a lot of time lah. And that's the kind of thing that I still try to follow. Sometimes I don't follow lah. Sometimes I just feel like I don't feel like doing that today. I just want to draw. But later my future self will be angry at me lah. Yeah. So apart from the very first book that I will be giving out today, this is, you see guys, I read this myself. When I first launched this book, I was so kiasu. I was like, hey, I don't have like a machine. I never hire people to. I do myself. So even this plastic, I went to some bookstore to go and buy. I go and like buy the sellotape and go and wrap myself. Yeah. So the fun fact was this is banned in Singapore. Yeah, because this version was not censored. Yeah. So kids here today, just letting you know, this version is not censored lah. So yeah, after receiving numerous complaints, then we had to reprint the censored version lah. So the jokes here are more in your face kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, not so brutal lah. Brutal is a bit too much. But yeah, this is the very first one. Yeah, you cannot get this version anymore. The one that you can get outside is the clean version. So today I have the 18 and above version. But nothing too much lah. It's just more cheekier lah, the joke. Then another one that I sort of like, this is also quite rare. This is when I released this, not for sale, but just for fun, the 8 years anniversary. I've been doing this like 11 years already. So there's this little book here where there's like just some artworks inside. Yeah, and this is an 8-year anniversary. As you can see, it's also totally unopened, brand new. Okay, yeah? So no refund. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask 2 questions. and the person who fastest, you'll be my judge lah. James here will be my judge to see who raised up their hand the fastest. And you answer it correctly, you win. So I'll be giving out the 8-year anniversary one first. Okay? Right? So I'm gonna ask a question. Then when 1, 2, 3, hands up. Okay? Okay, so the question is, how old was I when I started drawing my first comic? Hey, wait, haven't 1, 2, 3 yet, haven't 1, 2, 3 yet, haven't 1, 2, 3 yet. Okay, everyone ready? The question is, how old was I when I drew my very first comic? Okay, 1, 2, 3. But they're not that fast.
I think you say you were 5.
Correct. Alright, you won the 8 years anniversary Bro Don't Like That Bro exclusive art book. Let you know, there's only 10 in the world of this. The whole world, I only made 10 of these.
Amazing, amazing.
So, 1, 2.
Alright. Okay, so for the uncensored version of my very, very first book, okay, brand new, untouched, okay, so the question is, that first comic, alright, what was it about? What was the story of that first comic? Okay, in 1, 2, go. Elvin.
Huh? Oh.
Yeah. So what was the comic that I drew, the very first comic that I drew?
Scooby-Doo.
Correct.
Hey,
You won the exclusive.
Thank you so
Here
much.
comes the bros.
Hey, thanks.
Hey, smile for the picture,
Hey,
bro.
hey.
1, 2.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, so unfortunately, I don't really have much of these rare items in my house, right? I wish I can give everyone stuff, but everyone here also will receive a rare sticker pack that I launched back a couple of years ago, and cannot be bought also. This is also a rare limited item. So everyone here also will have one. Okay, thank you for coming. And I think now it's time for the launch, right? Okay. Great. So later I'll give this to you guys when you guys come up to the table for the signing. But first, I think we need to do the launch first lah. Oh.
Okay guys, again please give a big round of applause for Ernest. Okay, so to officiate this today's event, so we like just do a simple unveiling lah. Okay, so to unveil this, I would like to call upon Jam as the representative of Borders. Thank you, Borders, for organizing this together with us. Okay.
Just want to say, Jem has been supporting my work since very beginning as well. She was around during the launch of that book. Right?
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so
yeah.
she's very aware of my process lah, of my entire journey of doing book. But this is actually my first book launch. I never do anything like this before. So excuse me if I look a bit too excited. Okay. Alright, so shall we?
Okay, so to officiate this, we'd like to unveil the book 7. So 1, 2, 3. Yay. So okay. So Ernest, please drop your signature there. So Jem and Ernest, can you stand side by side with their thing, and then probably we take some picture.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Thank you, Jem. Thank you.
Thanks guys for coming. Now I'll be signing your stuff and you guys can come and collect your free gifts.
Yeah. So if those who haven't buy the books, you can get the books from here and make a payment at the counter. Then you can just come forward when you're ready, and please